Hello folks, this is Matthew. We are back and we're going to do another, and since I'm under happy hour, I am going to do another case in elite mode. And I am going to do case number 14 in the inner city district of Pacific Bay. Hey Matthew, are you ready to get monumentally drunk? Frank! Chief, it's St. Patrick's Day, the one day in the year where you have to drink. The last time you celebrated St. Patrick's, you locked yourself up in the station's detention cell. Besides, St. Patrick's isn't only about drinking. There's a fantastic parade and... Exactly. I'll show Matthew the parade while Frank sits drinking beer in a corner. Fine, but please keep an eye out for Frank, Matthew. I'm almost moved to tears, Matthew. All these people united together by drink. You've always been too sentimental, Frank. Look at all the costumes, Matthew. Isn't it just wild? Watch out for Roxy, Matthew. You'll end up in a rave before you know it. Hello, Sheriff Matthew. It's nice to meet you outside of a murder investigation. So what do you think of the parade floats? I don't know about my partner, but I care more about my beer than the parade. And what is it, Matthew? Something's wrong with that parade float? Oh no, don't even think about it, Matthew. This is St. Patrick's and there will be 0 investigations today. Wow, normally I'm stuck in my morgue, but so this is the first time I get to see Matthew at work. Go get them, Tiger. Oh no. Also, another friend of mine is in this case. I don't know when he's going to get back to this. Everybody make way. I'm a doctor. Doc, maybe it's the booze messing with your judgment, but this guy's clearly as dead as they get. Arg, that face. I know him. It's Angus O'Brien, the local Irish priest. You knew him? Stick around, Doc, because Sheriff Matthews is going to have to question you. And you're interested in this notebook, Matthew? Think about it first. You can either recover the writing or go for a beer. You're right. It's filled with drawings of Molotov cocktails. Fine. It could be important. Well, Matthew, it looks like this is going to be one long, sober-filled case. Time to take off the hat. Okay, I'm going to get some stars. I'll be right back. Okay, I got 6 stars. Let's talk to Mark McKenzie first. There's always something that comes and ruins the fun in inner city. We can't celebrate for more than 5 minutes without a murder on our streets. I hear you, Doc, but Sheriff Matthew has caught more killers than I care to count, and you can bet that they'll catch this one. But what can you tell us about the victim? You said you knew him, right? Angus was a priest at St. Mary's Church. We used to work together in the rougher parts of inner city. I would heal their bones and he would heal their souls. He was a good man and a pillar of the Irish community. He fought for good in inner city, but it looks like evil won. You're right, Matthew. Mark mentioned the victim worked at St. Mary's Church, so we better go check it out. Just don't ask me to go to confession. But first, I'm going to examine the faded notebook. Okay, Matthew, you managed to recover the text on that notebook. It reads, "Hang them, burn them, from their ashes we will rise." Okay, then. I agree, we can't take any chances, so let's send it to Russell. This is 18 hours. Pile of leaves. No. Well, Matthew, how did the search go in the garden of the victim's church? Did you find religion? Haha, sorry, bad joke. So you found a pile of leaves in a sleeping bag. This sleeping bag proves somebody slept out in the church garden. Do you think you could recover the owner's name, Matthew? And sorry, but I ain't gonna help you search through that pile of leaves. I already get mistaken for a bum, so I don't want to make matters worse. Right. Give me a moment, folks. I'm gonna get some more stars. Alright, I got myself up to 8 stars. Now I'm going to examine the leaves. Clerical collar. I don't know about that collar you found searching through that soggy pile of leaves, Matthew, but I can tell you one thing you lost: your dignity. You're right, that white strip in the middle means it's a clerical collar. Excellent find, Matthew. It had to belong to our victim. And it's covered in blood. I'll go fetch the forensic kit for you. Clerical collar. Not bad. Nicely done, Matthew. Let's send this blood sample you collected from the victim's clerical collar over to the lab. Six hours. And the sleeping bag now. Colin O'Brien. Well done, Matthew. You managed to recover the name on that sleeping bag you found in the church garden. O'Brien. You're right. That's the same surname as our victims. But why would this Colin sleep out in the church garden if his relative lives here? Oi, what are you doing stealing my stuff? Easy there, Ginger. Sheriff Matthew needs to talk to you about the murder of Angus O'Brien. My brother's been murdered? Ha! Best news ever! Now let's talk to Colin. So you're saying my brother's dead? Good! He had it coming. Just recently, I get here in inner city and I needed a place to stay, so I asked my brother. And he says the only place he'll let me sleep is outside. Can you imagine? So much for a charitable priest. And so you killed him because of his lack of charity? I couldn't kill my own flesh and blood. That ain't the Irish way. But I would buy his killer a drink or two. Gonna let these three run their courses? For now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. I'm gonna speed this up.
For Valentine's Day, personalize your M&Ms on
I apologize, Matthew, but I'm still a bit drunk. I wish I was out having fun until this corpse arrived. I was talking about the victim, not you, Frank. Still, I can tell you that your killer first tried to strangle your victim, as evidenced by the rope fibers I found around the victim's neck. I analyzed these rope fibers and I can confirm the killer used a jump rope. Now before you say anything, Frank, jump ropes are widely used by adults and killers alike. It's a great way to stay fit. But the jump rope is not your murder weapon. It's something way cooler. Turns out your victim was killed by being forced to ingest helium. Roxy, we know you're still drunk, but come on, helium? It just makes your voice sound funny. Helium can be a lethal weapon, Frank. A large dose will make your insides explode. Boom! A rope? Helium? Was the killer trying to turn the victim into a balloon or something? Well, his spine was missing too. That's what made the body so shapeless. So maybe... Wait, the spine's missing? You're right, Matthew. Since we've been in inner city, first a heart went missing, then some lungs, and now a spine. 2 can be passed off as being a coincidence, but 3 is too important to ignore. Let's hope this case offers up some answers, Matthew. Notebook now. Ah, Matthew, that notebook you found on the crime scene is a diary. It's filled with the typical anarchist talk about wanting to destroy our society. So an anarchist wrote this? Yes. Remember, Matthew, there's a large group of anarchists here in inner city who call themselves the Inner Chaos. You're right, Matthew. Chief Marquez mentioned that group, and she warned us to stay well away from them. Given the writing in this diary, this anarchist is clearly self-obsessed and dangerous. They believe they're practically the chosen one. This profile matches a certain Fredo Mancini, the leader of Inner Chaos. I agree, Matthew. Looks like we're finally going to get to meet this psycho-anarchist leader. Huh, what a treat.
Are you signaling someone in this room? No. I swear.
They're not just talking to Cody. They have eyes in the classroom too, Mickey.
Tony, did you copy that?
What are you doing here? I ain't talking to no pigs. Your diary has done all the talking we need. You shouldn't pour your heart out so easily about wanting to burn down inner city. Mock me all you want, but I will liberate this city by restoring chaos on its streets. Starting with the death of a priest? I saw that dead priest floating along with the parade, but even if we're anarchists, it doesn't mean we killed him. I'm going, pretty soon.
How long? Using counterattack software. They're using
I analyzed that blood sample you collected from the victim's clerical collar, Matthew, and I can confirm the blood matches your victim. But interesting thing is, there was also beer molecules mixed in with the blood. You didn't contaminate the evidence, did you, Frank? There's no chance of that. Matthew did all the work, as always. I know the beer wasn't in the blood because only the ethanol molecules from the alcohol entered the bloodstream and not the alcohol molecules themselves. This proves the beer was deposited on the collar after the murder by your killer. So our killer drinks beer? I was set out to hate them, but this complicates the matter. Well, Matthew, because of the killer, I so far spent St. Patrick's sober, so this case has just gotten personal. What do you have so far? The victim was floating in the St. Patrick's Day parade, and his spine was missing. Is that some kind of message? And we spoke to the surgeon who was not only on the scene of the crime, but he also knew the victim since they worked together. And you're right, more puzzling still, there's the victim's brother who was forced to sleep in the church garden rather than at the victim's. What was that all about? And then there's the anarchist leader. I can't say I liked him much, and he obviously has a taste for trouble. Matthew, I'm sorry it took me a while to sober up after all my partying. You owe me drinks, by the way, but I found this torn flyer in the victim's pocket. Well, Matthew, looks like you haven't hit a dead end after all. You ready to piece this together?
How's it coming, Captain? Narrowing it down. Can't stand doing nothing while everyone else is working.
Well, then do something.
Any suggestions?
Yes. So? We didn't really have time to question Major Myers. He may be able to tell us who's controlling the phone.
Got it.
Captain, have you been bringing Major Myers?
Not bad, Matthew. So that torn flyer in the victim's pocket was for some kind of fight tournament. Okay. Okay, so far so good. But what was this fire doing in the victim's pocket? It's not like a priest would be interested in watching people fight, right? You're right, Matthew. Our victim has a boxer's nose. On top of that, the tournament prize is for a lot of money. Wow, I think you're onto something here. It looks like our priest was a fighter and stepped back into the ring for one last fight. A priest fighting dirty. Now you're talking.
No. What does this have to do with my son?
Get to chapter 2 later. Alright folks, we're back. We start chapter 2 with Spineless. Well, how about that, Matthew? It turns out our dead priest participated in this bare-knuckle fighting tournament. Bare-knuckle fighting isn't illegal, but it does attract a lot of illegal operations. It's a dangerous crowd, that's for sure. According to this flyer, the tournament took place at the inner city gym. Okay, Matthew, are you ready to step into the ring?
Advancing HR.
So your workforce takes you where you want to go.
Sure. The leading resource for human resources. Look around you.
Okay.
Different things. Born out of honesty and passion.
I'm going to at least start this out.
It is a product of the hands, but even more, a creation of the mind. Software.
Alright.
Our identity. Inspired
Here we are.
by simplicity. Designed to make things work for you. So, made in India, made for the world. When a veteran can refinance and get cash for their family, that's a new day. When a veteran can lower their
Colin O'Brien.
$700 a month, that's a new day. With the New Day 100 VA loan, you can refinance your mortgages, consolidate your credit card debt, get cash, and lower your payments an average of $700.
10 seconds.
When a veteran can have the security of money in a bank, that's a new day. Call New Day USA now at 1-855-670-5547. Next, the Sanders appeal. Ahead of the Iowa caucuses, his popularity is climbing, especially among younger voters. But what's behind the momentum? Out front with a closer look.
Cool. Got an OJ.
Out front. Next on CNN.
2 words, no words.
Huh, this place stinks of sweat, blood, and stale booze. It reminds me of my first apartment, huh? So you want to piece back together this broken object, Matthew? Well, I ain't gonna stop you.
Everything's taken care of. I have the freedom.
And look what you found. This fight bib is for Colin O'Brien, so he was also a fighter.
You should.
You're right. There seems to be something faded on it. Can you make out what it says, Matthew? And what about this coat of arms? You think you can find out the name of the family by running it through the database? Okay, now you're just showing off.
To share its power for all our honor. We are the House of the Sun. See the energy and the environment. Call or visit our showroom to learn how we've been keeping the legend alive for over 30 years. We are the most experienced, dependable team in all the islands. Rely on Haleakala Solar to bring the power of the sun into
Perfect.
your home.
17. You and puzzles.
We're kinda done.
You and puzzles, hey? I might need you to help me piece back together my latest bank statement I tore up in a rage. And you're right, it looks like you restored a betting board used for the tournament. The Sinner versus Miss Piggy in the final match. Yep, the fighters obviously used nicknames. Well, how about we send it to Hannah? She could take a look at it if she's not too busy messaging her girlfriend.
Antiques Roadshow.
I just came by to tell you that Derek Paulson has been cleared.
18 hours.
Charges. You saved that boy's life.
He did most of the work.
Don't sell
There's
yourself.
them in the fight bib.
Or is it too late for that?
It's supposed to be some sort of private talk. Give me a chance.
Disqualified. Okay, Matthew, so you managed to recover the stamp on Colin's fight bib. It says here he was disqualified from the tournament. We already knew his brother was a fighter in the tournament,
Handle yourself.
but I wonder why Colin was disqualified. You're right, Matthew, we should go ask him directly.
You might not come out of it. Fact is, you're
There's another.
the best. When you're as good at something as you are, when you can make a difference like you can, you just don't quit.
Ask him about his disqualification. Colin, Sheriff Matthew discovered that you were meant to fight in the same tournament as your brother. When I came here to see my brother, he treated me like dirt, but when I showed him the flyer for the tournament, he started acting all friendly. Heck, he even helped me with my jump-rope exercises and kept giving me drink after drink. But it was all just to trick me. He got me so drunk that I didn't wake up in time for the tournament. Angus wanted all that prize money for himself, and he knew the only way to beat me was if I was drunk. Couldn't you have just refused the drinks? Don't be daft. You can't turn down a drink. But my brother's always been a cheater and a liar. I thought he had changed when he became a priest, but he's still as spineless as ever. Coat of arms now. There we are.
This week we are chatting with some big fans of Big Apple.
Oh no. There we are. Coat of arms owner. Smooth going, Matthew. So this coat of arms you found in the Fight Club belongs to a Russian family, that of a certain Nikolai Kamarov. Wait a minute, I've heard of this Nikolai. He's like the leader of the Russian community. How do I know of this Nikolai? Haha, it's a long story. One I'd rather not remember. But you're right, we should go talk to him.
No one talking about he's into you. Yeah, here, write your number down. Quick, before he gets away.
Okay.
Oh my god.
About attending the Fight Club. Mr. Kamarov, Sheriff Matthew found proof of your presence in the Fight Club. We'd like to know what you were doing there. Watching people fight. For cops, you ain't too smart. And for wasting my precious time, you're even less smart. But talking about fighters, I heard Angus O'Brien got killed. I guess the luck of that Irishman has ran out, huh? And how come you heard about the murder so fast? Because it is my job to know. Power is not only strength, it is also knowledge. Angus fought well, but I did not like him. Too Irish. You know, just because the Irish like to drink, they think us Russians are alike. But I find them, how do you say, spineless. Gonna let the betting board run its course. For now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, there's Matthew. We are back. Let's get the results of the betting board.
Yeah, but both mothers love that one child.
I analyzed those nicknames on that betting board you found in the Fight Club, Matthew. The sinner stands for your victim, Angus O'Brien. He made it all the way to the final match and won against Miss Piggy. As you can guess, she's a woman. You've actually met Miss Piggy before, Matthew. Turns out she's none other than Shelley Gillard. Remember you met her in the bayou. Wait, isn't she the one who threw fish guts on Amy's head? I guess she's now put all that violence to good use. She sure has. The odds were stacked against her. I mean, she had 60 chances to 1 of winning, and yet she still made it to the final round. Wow, Shelley made it all that way, only to be defeated in the last match. She must be furious. You're right, Matthew. We should go pay her a visit.
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
Oh, I guess not.
I got 6 of my own plus 11 grandkids. I know when something's not right.
About her career change?
All day. My husband's in silver.
Well, I'll be damned. It's Sheriff Matthew as I live and breathe. And I've got to say, I'm happy you finally got rid of that stick insect and replaced her with a real man. But yeah, I got fed up with all the mosquitoes in the bayou, and I like drinking and fighting, so might as well make a living out of it, right? And man, I'm a beast in the ring. I've never beaten up so many men for money before. But then you lost against Angus O'Brien. Don't talk to me about Angus. Winning that tournament was my dream, and he took it away from me. So you decided to take his life? Ha, look at you when you're all serious. I could just eat you up. But nah, I didn't kill him. That ain't the warrior's way, sweetie. I'm warning you, Matthew. If you tell anyone back at the station that Shelley likes me, you will regret it. Let's get back to it. The victim was a priest, but it also turns out he was this bare-knuckle boxing champion. He sure had his secrets. Good idea, Matthew. If we want to learn more about the victim, we should go back to his church. Who knows what other secrets he's hiding?
I used up all the milk. Susie was crying. I gave her some crackers, but she kept crying.
How long has your mama been gone?
Hannah? Mama, solo yo toyo. A really, really long time.
Yeah, I'd say, judging from the empty formula bottles, that mama's been gone a week.
Alright. Let's see here. Theta steroid vial. Wow.
Inside every bottle of Swap Professionals is a beautiful blend.
Okay, Matthew, you want to look through that box full of Bibles? You're preaching to the choir, buddy, so just go for it. And you also picked up a steroid vial. People use this to illegally bulk up their body weight. You're right. With all this talk about fight tournaments, this steroid vial could be linked to our case. Do you think you can recover the Theta text on it, Matthew?
Swap Professionals works as well as salon brands. Swap.
I smoked a lot and quit a lot, but ended up nowhere.
Won't let me share any coins.
CQ patch with unique extended release technology helps prevent the urge to smoke all day.
I want this time to be my last time. That's
So I'm just going to do it right now.
New Nature Valley cereal.
Angus, find another supplier.
Lightly sweetened baked oat bites.
Great job of covering the writing on that steroid vial, Matthew. Angus, find another supplier. Hey, that's the name of our victim, you're right. I agree, Angus must have used steroids to help him win the tournament, but who gave them to him? Good point, Matthew. Mackenzie knew the victim, and as a surgeon, he'd have access to steroids, so there's a chance he gave them to him. But let's go ask him ourselves.
You think you're doing all you can for your heart health, but 9 out of 10 Americans aren't getting enough important omega-3s. Bayer Pro Ultra Omega-3.
Why? Let's grow Mark Mackenzie. Ah, Sheriff Matthew, would you like a beer? I've got plenty left after the St. Patrick's Parade was canceled. Beer. I mean, no. Sheriff Matthew wants to know if you've been supplying Angus O'Brien with steroids. I didn't have a choice. Angus wanted to bulk his muscles for the fight tournament, and he forced me to give them to him. And he forced you how? By giving you loads of money? He didn't pay me a single cent. Instead, he used all the secrets I told him during my confessions to blackmail me into giving him drugs. Can you believe it? He used his position as a priest to listen to all my secrets and then use them to trick me. But why am I surprised? Nobody has a moral backbone in Inner City. Just this morning, someone stole my jump rope while I was training for the marathon.
Kung Fu Panda 3 hits theaters January 29th. Until then, catch up on the first 2 Kung Fu Panda adventures and other hits like How to Train Your Dragon and Shrek. Just go to Movies on Demand, select Enjoy Better, and choose Animated Heroes to watch them today. Oceanic Time or Cable.
Do you feel uninspired in your life? Are you stuck, stressed, and overwhelmed? Or is the life over?
There we are.
If you want to start the year off on a different note, join me, Alice Noy, for
You had fun looking through that box of Bibles, Matthew? Huh. And now that you want to play with this jump rope, aren't you a bit old for that? Oh, you're right. We know the killer uses a jump rope, so this one could be theirs. Matthew, you're a genius. Come on, let's send this jump rope to the lab.
Unleash the fun of the Westminster Kennel Club.
So 3 coins I don't have a chance at for cards. 24 hours? Okay.
Go to WKCLive.com all day for an inside look at
I'll let this thing run its course, and for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright, folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the jump rope right now. Thanks for sending over that jump rope you found in the church garden, Matthew. My daughter begged me to let her play with it. You've ever tried saying no to an 8-year-old? But before she could contaminate the jump rope, I found skin cells belonging to your victim. The victim's skin cells must have ended up on the jump rope for when the killer tried to strangle him. But what's interesting is the substance I found on the handles. Grease. The grease comes from some kind of mystery meat, so I can't tell you what the killer ate, only that they're a real slob. It's everywhere. So we're looking for a slob? Very funny, Frank. What I was trying to say is that your killer is such a slob. They've obviously got that grease all over their clothes, too.
To tell us the state where the main action takes place. Andrew?
I'm a man of science for 400.
One of his many titles.
Okay, Matthew, the sooner we solve this case, the sooner I can get back to drinking. I refuse to spend a whole St. Patrick's Day sober. What do we have so far? Mark told us that the victim used his confessional secrets to blackmail him. Our victim jumped back into the ring and defeated Shelley, crushing her dreams of winning the tournament. That's true, the victim even managed to get his brother disqualified from the tournament. You're right, all the suspects seem to agree that the victim didn't have a moral backbone, so maybe that could explain his missing spine. And of course you can't have an investigation in inner city without some leader turning up, and we've got two, the Russian leader and that crazy anarchist. Can't they give us a break? Matthew, come quick. Fredo has taken over the victim's church. He says he's going to burn it to the ground. Why?
In this 1983 film, Jack Nicholson met
We'll have to sum this up in Chapter 3.
Christine?
Alright folks, it's Matthew. We are back. Playing Criminal Case on Facebook. Case 14 in Elite Mode, that is Spineless. And we're about to start Chapter 3.
400.
Oh my gosh, Matthew. Fredo has taken over the victim's church. He says he's going to burn it to the ground to mark the beginning of the revolution. What the? Somebody's got to explain to that lunatic that anarchism isn't just about burning everything to the ground. Come on, Matthew, let's go stop him.
You get to deal with this category. Medieval.
People of inner city, you have been brainwashed by the capitalist state. Let's send them a message that we've had enough. Together, let's burn it all down. Hold it right there, Mancini. You're not burning anything. You think you pigs can stop me? I refuse to obey your rules. Okay, let's change tactics here. Put the Molotov cocktail down, or the only fire you'll come into contact with is on your funeral pyre. Okay. Until I have completed my mission, my life is more important than this church. So I surrender, Sheriff Matthew. Spin it any way you want, Mancini. You're still a coward. You're right, Matthew. Let's lock him up. Damn, I hate anarchists. And we can either question Fredo now or keep him stewing in his cell while we go check out the Fight Club. Your call, Matthew. I'll investigate the tables at least. Start it up. Locked box. Torn photo. Well, Matthew, what did you find this time around? A locked box and a torn photo? I don't know why people systematically tear up their photos around these parts. It just makes you more curious about them. And I'm guessing this lock isn't going to stop you from opening up that box, right? No, it's not Frank. Gonna get a few stars. I'll be back. All right, I got me 4 stars. I'm gonna examine the locked box right now. G3R. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. You cracked open that locked box in no time, and there's an empty envelope inside. Huh, that's a bit of an anticlimax. You're right, Matthew. Since the envelope was in the box, it must have been important. Do you think you can recover the writing on it?
Here is the clue for you. These are actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air in this island set, Shakespeare. What
is the tempest?
You are correct, and we have less than 9,000
Russian text. That's not going to say much. Nice going recovering the ink on that envelope, Matthew. Now we can either learn Russian or send this to the lab for translation.
Sylvia, one category still in play, Bianca.
Pro women for 200, please.
She made her European racing debut in 1998, competing in the Formula Vauxhall.
Let's examine the torn photo now. I think that looks like Shelley. Smooth going. You restored that photo in no time, and it's of Shelley. Yikes, this can't be unseen. And you're right, there's a message. For my Angus. What the? Shelley didn't just fight the victim in the tournament. She also fancied him. That woman is full of surprises and contradictions. You're right, Matthew. All this raises a million questions, so it might just be easier to go ask Shelley about this directly. About our relationship? What the heck are you doing with my picture? You better give me answers unless you want me to answer to my fist in your face. Easy now, Shelley. Sheriff Matthew found your picture in the fight club. Were you and Angus lovers? I thought so. I met Angus at the gym a few weeks back. He encouraged me to take up jump rope exercises. So we started fighting together for practice. It was so romantic. Every punch to the face was like a kiss. I was so passionately in love with him. I hit the hardest and I would win every single time. But just before the tournament, Angus told me that he never loved me. It was all a lie. I fight out of passion, and with that gun, I couldn't fight at all. He knew that the only way he could defeat me was with his words, and now I hope that liar rots in hell. Oh, Shelley Gillard's in the running. Real Fredo now. You should have let me burn down that church. I was trying to free the people from this capitalist state. Killing a priest wasn't enough, so you also had to burn down his church? I didn't kill that priest, but seeing his body strung up inspired me to take action. Come on, admit it. You anarchists are well known for being anti-religious. You just chose the easiest option to get noticed. Inner chaos doesn't act like the rest of them. I lead, I don't follow, but people like you will never understand. You've been brainwashed to only see what they tell you. What I'm seeing right now is an idiot, and that seems about right to me. But fine, if you don't want to talk, we ain't gonna let you out. Wait, if you're gonna keep me locked up for long, can you at least get me my jump rope? Exercise is good for the mind. Alright.
What is Mercury?
That's the planet.
Mixed bag for 800.
Personally, I'm hoping Fredo is the one. But I'll let this thing run its course. For now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright, folks, it is Matthew. We are back. Let's get the results of the Russian text. Hey there, Matthew. I translated the Russian on that empty envelope you found locked in a box in the fight club. And it reads, for the sinner, $50,000 to make sure you go down in the second round. You're right, Matthew. The sinner was our victim's nickname during the tournament, so somebody bribed him to cheat during the final round. And surprise, surprise, a partial fingerprint on the envelope allowed me to positively identify Nikolai Kamarov as the one who wrote this. So Nikolai wanted Angus to lose. But why? Ah, you're right, Matthew. All the odds were against Shelley. So Nikolai would have won a fortune if the victim lost. But that's true. Angus won the tournament, so he obviously didn't listen to Nikolai and instead took the money and ran. I agree, if Angus double-played Nikolai, you can bet the Russian would have wanted him dead. Let's go talk to him.
This kid was walking out of here. Can't let that happen. How you can stop me?
Let's talk to Nikolai. There we go. And the plot thickens, Nikolai. Sheriff Matthew has just found out that you paid Angus to lose in the final match. And what? You're here because I fixed a fight? Big deal. In my community, I have to give the appearance of always winning against all odds. That way people will never dare gamble with me. But Angus did just that. He double-crossed you by taking the money and winning. Exactly. I lost my bet and got insulted in the process. I haven't been this humiliated since I was caught doing jump rope exercises. And so you killed him to send a message that you're still the most powerful man here? That Duroc deserved to die, but sadly I did not kill him. Still, if people believe that, it's fine with me. Matthew, I don't know how long I can keep going without a drink. Why does everybody else get to have fun apart from us? We have a Russian, an anarchist, an Irishman, a surgeon, and a fighter. Huh, it sounds like the beginning of a bad joke. Matthew, we can't keep people from celebrating St. Patrick's any longer. You need to go back to the parade ASAP. To join in the celebrations? No, Frank, to solve this case before all the evidence gets contaminated at the parade. Okay. Come on, Matthew, the partying is going to have to wait a little longer. And even if this is one bad joke, we'll be sure to deliver the punchline.
Considered especially heinous. In New York City, dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
Arrived at your destination.
This doesn't look like a hot after hours club fever. It's covered with graffiti.
Let me see the address. Maybe you punched it in wrong.
No, this dump is the right place.
Doesn't make sense.
Okay.
We're totally into this. It's 2:30. I think we should just call it a night. And you wonder why you don't get laid. I'm a scared little girl.
Oh my God, really.
Alright.
The bus just took off with the car's occupants. Just the windshield up close and personal when the body hit.
Everyone's got no windows. Taking a nice out from the roof.
With his pants around his ankles.
She's listening to the wrong hook when she rolled. Don't mention it like this. All in 50s. Not
Okay.
quite fat enough to cushion the fall. Judging by the blood spatter on the hood.
There you go. 25. Looks like he died 2 blocks from his house.
When he was slumming it, check this out. He's got a Rolex, diamond studs.
SCA. His initials.
Could be his girlfriend's.
A helium can? Don't tell me you're going to blow up some balloons and make funny animals out of them, Matthew, because I hate clowns and everything associated with them. Oh, you're right. Roxy said the killer used helium on the victim, which exploded his lungs. Matthew, you genius, you just found our murder weapon. But what are those marks on it? Yep, we should collect a sample. And you want to search through those St. Patrick's giveaways? Sounds good to me. It will help put us in a party mood. Because believe me, I'll be out celebrating once you put the killer behind bars. We're so close I can already taste that first sip of beer on my lips. I'm gonna go ahead and just do it anyway. So, let's get some results. Aha, 16. Green substance. Way to go, Matthew. I don't know what you managed to collect on that helium can, but I do know it will bring us one step closer to our killer. Let's hurry and send it to the lab.
Ancestry DNA. The big surprise was we're not German at all. 52% of my DNA comes from Scotland and Ireland. So, I traded in my lederhosen for kills.
Ancestry has many paths to discovering your story. It starts through
That's 18 hours.
You both have a perfect driving record.
Until one of you can
And I will be letting both of them run their courses.
Perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Aha, ice pack. Huh, Matthew, there were all those bottles in those St. Patrick's giveaways, and instead you picked out an ice pack. First you need a drink before getting a hangover, and that's when the ice pack is meant to come in. Oh, you think it's related to our case? Okay, let's send it to the lab. I can't wait to see how this leads to our killer.
Then you found out about Neulasta.
Neulasta helps reduce infection risk by boosting your white blood cell count, which strengthens your immune system. In a key study, Neulasta reduced the risk of infection from
30 hours.
to 1% and 94%.
So I'll get the results tomorrow evening, and I'll see you guys for that. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then.
If you're allergic to Neulasta.
Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the green substance. I looked at the green sediment you collected from the murder weapon, Matthew. The green sediment comes from a plant. Just like humans, plants have DNA structures, and this sample you gave me comes from the clover family. I dug a little deeper and analyzed the molecular marker, and I successfully detected the gene of the four-leaf clover. Given the marks on the murder weapon, the killer was wearing a four-leaf clover when they picked it up to kill your victim. So our killer is wearing a four-leaf clover. Ha, it's meant to bring luck, but that won't stop you from arresting them. We've got them now, Matthew. And the ice pack? I analyzed that ice pack you found among those giveaways at the St. Patrick's Parade, Matthew. I found beer molecules on it, which is what your killer drinks, and since you found it on the crime scene, there's no doubt it belongs to your killer. I also found blood serum on it. Now, blood serum is an odd thing. It is blood, but doesn't contain any red or white blood cells, so it's of little use. However, blood serum is secreted when the body is bruised. So obviously, your killer was using this ice pack to treat their bruises. So our killer is covered in bruises. With this, you'll be able to catch them in no time, Matthew. Okay, Matthew, what do you say we go arrest our killer and then go enjoy the rest of the St. Patrick's celebrations? Okay, let's arrest the killer. It's not the surgeon. It isn't Fredo Mancini. It's not Colin O'Brien. It's Shelley Gillard. Speaking of which, if you happen to hear any other music, that was me playing Clash of Demon Head for Nintendo earlier. Shelley Gillard, you're under arrest for the gruesome murder of Angus O'Brien. Oh, cutie, you're jealous I flirted with Angus and so you want to get back at me? That's so romantic. Nice try, Shelley, but Sheriff Matthews figured it all out. After you lost the fight to Angus, you drank a few beers before confronting him. During the confrontation, you ended up strangling him with a jump rope before filling him up with helium. Angus got what he deserved. When I arrived in Inner City, it was like a fairy tale. I had found my dream man and my dream job. But during the fight, Angus showed that photo I gave him to everybody. He humiliated me just so he could win the tournament. It was meant to be the start of my career, and in that one moment, he crushed my dreams and my heart. They are wounds that will never heal. I thought Angus should experience what it feels like being me, so I decided to blow him up like a balloon, and as I'm sure he can tell you, it ain't a nice feeling. Sheriff Matthew is right. We've heard enough from you, but I'm sure the judge will want to hear all about this. For now, you're under arrest. Shelley Gillard, you're being tried for the despicable murder of Angus O'Brien, a priest and a fighter. Am I reading that right? Now I understand the victim has no moral backbone. He cheated a lot of you, but you cannot kill any person who plays with your feelings and mocks you. If that were permitted, I would have killed a lot of cyberbullies by now. How am I meant to know what LOL means? But I digress. And Officer Young confirms that you've got a short temper and are potentially dangerous. As for the Grizzly murder, I sentence you to 20 years. Fine, see if I care. I never had much luck in this world, and I'm used to it by now. On a final note, I decided not to condemn you to solitary confinement, but please don't make me regret it by starting prison fights. Jeez, Matthew, I was looking forward to celebrating once this case was solved, but now the mood's kind of gone. Damn it, I forgot to ask Shelley what she did with the victim's spine. I need to start writing things down. But that's true. This is now the third case in which a body part has mysteriously vanished. Let's recap, shall we? There was a missing heart for a love story, missing lungs taken from a smoke peddler, and now a missing spine taken from a spineless priest. At least the killers are consistent. But you're right, we were led to believe that these missing body parts were because of a Russian-Chinese feud. But this murder has nothing to do with the Russian or Chinese communities. So does that mean we got a psycho going around stealing body parts? And if yes, what do they do with them? You know what, Matthew, I kind of feel that I kind of need that drink after all. Aww. Nice job, Frank.
I rechecked with Dr. Diamond's office. He wasn't seeing Paula as a patient.
So if what her co-worker told you was true?
Let's take a look at the other ones. Nikolai Kamarov doesn't drink beer. Mark McKenzie, no bruises. Fredo Mancini doesn't drink. No stain, no four-leaf clover. Colin O'Brien, no four-leaf clover. And I'll see you guys for the additional investigation. Alright folks, we're back. Let's start the additional investigation. Well, Matthew, I'm glad we're done here. Now maybe we can finally celebrate. Matthew, oh, I'm so glad I found you here. I'm dreadfully sorry to interrupt, but I'm in trouble, so I immediately thought about you. Please, could you help me? Wait, hold on, giant pineapple guy. Slow down a bit. Sorry, it's so embarrassing. I lost my notebook at the parade. It contains all my investigation about Mark McKenzie. A big hospital hired me to run a background check on him. Matthew, you're the best when it comes to finding stuff. Would you mind helping me a bit? Wait, Matthew's right. Mark has been involved in 2 of our investigations already. I agree, it might be useful to get more information about him. Really? It'd be amazing if my info helped you. Let's go to the parade right away. My notebook should be there. Wait a minute, Matthew. After his stunt at the church, we're still holding Fredo in custody, but we'll have to release him soon, so I need you to make sure he's calmed down. Of course, it's not urgent. Fredo can wait in his cell for hours for all I care. You can talk to him later if you'd rather help your friend at the parade first.
Which means the parents have to put in the work, learn therapeutic techniques they can use at home.
Work Janet Weston wasn't willing to do.
Alright.
Which is right. I suspect she went to this conference. She was obviously looking for some kind of non-traditional therapy.
Janet Weston wanted.
Let's investigate the street parade first.
What were choices?
Well, there's rage reduction technique where they deliberately trigger anger so it can be released in a controlled environment. Of course, it can be pretty dangerous under the supervision of an
I'm going to try something here, folks.
You're saying anyone can do this?
Anyone with a shingle and a dream.
Check the list of speakers at this conference. Let's narrow down what alternative Janet Weston would have chosen.
Let's see if I can best this third place spot.
Stahl did speak at the conference, but she's not here today, and I can't give out information about a patient.
I just want to know whether or not Paula was a patient.
There's no way I'm going to now.
Dr. Stahl's doing really important work with these kids. If you want to give her a hard time because you don't understand, I won't help you. We already know that Janet Weston attended a seminar given by Dr. Stahl at this conference. If it turns out that you know something about her daughter's death, I won't be able to help you.
Parade leftovers.
Paula got a few treatments a few weeks ago, okay? What about the night that she died?
So that didn't work out very well.
She was here, but I left. I don't know anything about what happened.
How come you never came forward?
The papers said that she was attacked in the park. I didn't think...
Well, Matthew, you found a pile of leftovers from the parade and some metallic pieces. I thought we were looking for a notebook.
Set up the equipment.
Hey, Sheriff Matthews' instincts are never wrong. I'm sure they've picked these items for a good reason. Alright, jeez, I was just teasing. Okay, Matthew, how about we try to put those metallic pieces back together? And I'd be delighted to assist you with this garbage, Sheriff Matthew.
How does it work? I've already discovered the patient's placed in the fetal position, then wrapped in a covering to recreate the wound. What type of covering?
Alright.
Depends on the therapist, but probably some blankets.
I have all the stars, so this shouldn't be a problem.
As the child struggles to be born.
This is supposed to be some sort of catharsis.
It's allegedly
Aha.
a simulated actual birth. The child emerges from the blankets.
Awesome, you found my notebook. You're still as good as ever, Sheriff Matthew. Nobody would have guessed it was in this garbage from the parade. I haven't found much about Dr. Mackenzie, but maybe some of it could be useful to you. There was a bank account I wanted to check out. Oh dear, it's all smudged out. You think you can decipher that bank account number, Sheriff Matthew? Oh, that would be wonderful.
This is outrageous.
I can do it, Ramirez.
You're right.
I'm old, but I haven't lost my touch, pal. Wait, did I say I'm old? No way. I'm gonna be 28 next month, but...
Check this out.
Fleece blankets.
And a stack of pillows.
There we are.
Are you facing my practice?
I was afraid you were going to say that. Ready?
I can't believe you managed to decipher the bank account number so fast, Sheriff Matthew. You think your tech expert could find out more about this bank account? Oh, that's wonderful, Sheriff Matthew. Let's send it to her.
That's from the therapeutic session. You've got to put it into context.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about it, Doc. That's what juries
It's two.
are for.
I don't want to live with
Okay, this is 6 hours.
I wonder whether I should seek treatment. I am ready.
Because today,
Oh, wait.
a revolutionary treatment for the most common type of chronic hepatitis C. Harvoni is proven to cure up to 99% of patients who had no prior treatment. It's the one and only cure. That's one pill, once a day, for 12 weeks. Certain patients can be cured with just 8 weeks of Harvoni. With Harvoni, there's no interferon, and there are no complex regimens. Tell your doctor if you have other
There we are.
HIV, or other medical conditions, and about all the medicines you take, including herbal supplements.
No kidding, Matthew. These pieces you found were part of a trophy, and a very extravagant one. Seriously, a ferocious bear eating a small dragon? Moment, folks. Alright. Sorry, guys. I agree with you, Matthew. It's a ridiculous metaphor of the feud between the Russian and Chinese communities, and it's written Fight Club tournament winner. You're right. We know someone who has a hand in the Fight Club and has a bone against the Chinese. I'm sure Nikolai will have a lot to say about this trophy.
Call Consolidated Credit now. Call now and get your life back. Oh, because debt sucks.
Alright. About the provocative trophy. Ha! I see you found my nice gift for the last Fight Club tournament, Sheriff Matthew. Such a pity it got broken. I had to throw it with the parade garbage. Your gift? You really think encouraging the community feud is funny? Oh, but this new tournament was hilarious. Of course the winner was Russian. You should have seen these Chinese fighters' faces. It did wonders for my reputation. This proves everyone I was still on top. Everyone has already forgotten I lost a bet. Actually, Sheriff Matthew is right. What you've done is incitement to violence. And guess what? This we can fine you for. I think this is the third. Oh no, wait, maybe that's the fourth. Oh well. Let's check up on Fredo. Back again, Sheriff Matthew? When are you pigs gonna let me out of here? Keep talking like that and I'll find a way to keep you locked up forever. For what motive? I haven't done anything. Yet. If it's about burning the church, you better keep an eye on it instead of losing your time here. Who knows what my guys could do to that place while I'm stuck here? Is that a threat, Fredo? Matthew, I got a bad feeling about this. I agree, let's go check out the church.
How could any mother do that to their daughter? She thought she was making her sick child better. I would condemn this mother because she chose an alternative therapy. God knows the AMA has its own set of problems.
All right. The therapist did defy common sense. How do we prove that the mother knew that going in? From everything you told me, she had no idea she was putting her child in danger. Well, maybe if she'd stuck around, she would have found out. Janet Weston was only there for 25 minutes, then she left while the session continued. She napped.
When she expressed her discomfort with what was happening, Dr. Stone asked her to step out because her ambivalence was undermining Paula's progress.
So maybe her discomfort was telling her something was wrong, but the therapist told her to leave, and also asked her to help cover up a
Anarchist Manifesto.
It was an accident. In charge of obstruction, but I'm not going to take the position that a parent has to second guess a doctor in order to avoid inside prosecution.
Let's do this. I can't believe it, Matthew. These punks have nailed their freaking manifesto to the church. Listen, anarchy is order, whereas government is civil war. But the names of the punks who wrote this crap are smudged. You know what, Matthew? If you can clear them up, I'm ready to arrest them.
Therapy is considered alternative, closer to a lesser standard, not a greater one.
The depraved different statute was passed for cases like this.
Okay. Hannah? Oh my God. Wait, Matthew, I don't understand. That signature you retrieved from the Anarchist Manifesto, it's Hannah's name. But that can't be her, right? I know she used to be part of Inner Chaos, but she's on our side now. You're right, there's no point in freaking out. Maybe Russell can be of use for once. Let's send that manifesto to him.
How do you plan to authenticate the tape?
18 hours. I'm going to let this run its course, and I'll see you for that. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the account number. Hey Matthew, I don't know where you found that account number, but it led me to some very interesting info about Mark McKenzie. Really? I'm lucky Sheriff Matthew helped me retrieve my notes from the parade, and I'm so happy to meet you. Oh, you must be Matthew's old colleague. Frank told me about your enthusiasm. Anyway, this number leads to an account Mark opened more than 20 years ago, and he's received very high sums of money on it. And I know he's a famous surgeon, but this was even before he got his diploma. So I took a closer look at where the payments came from. They all come from shady blacklisted accounts owned by patrons accused of offenses like money laundering, scams. Dr. McKenzie received money from criminals. Oh, you're right, Sheriff Matthew. We should question him now.
Is time that we didn't spend trying to help women who were raped. Now you think about them.
I'm sorry, what can I do?
About his old account. Dr. McKenzie, Sheriff Matthew discovered you had a secret account supplied with big amounts of money coming from criminals. Do you have an explanation? Med school is expensive. I had to find some funds. It doesn't make me a criminal. I agreed in the past to perform surgeries on questionable people because it was well paid, but I've made amends. By the way, I'm really busy now. I have to check on a patient. Well, that was rude. My employer will be disappointed, but this Dr. McKenzie is too suspicious. They shouldn't hire him. I have to admit it was very exciting to investigate with you again, Sheriff Matthew. How about we go celebrating the end of St. Patrick together?
She's more mature than any girl I've ever met in college. Keith, trust me. She's not that mature. You know why we're talking? No. You ever hear of statutory rape? Hey, you seem like a nice guy to me.
Well, Matthew, I'm sorry to confirm that the signature you found on this anarchist pamphlet is definitely Hannah's handwriting, as is the rest of it all. What? But she's not a member of that gang anymore. However, this handwriting is quite old and doesn't fit Hannah's current handwriting. It shows confusion, frustration, so I thought I'd ask her to... I can't believe it. These jerks, I can't believe they dug this up. Look, Matthew, I was young and stupid when I wrote this. At the time, Fredo was like a brother, or a guy. He even taught me my first anarchist slogan. I thought we were the good guys, that fighting dirty was the necessary evil to wake people up. Look, let me talk to Fredo. Finding the only manifesto I wrote today isn't a coincidence. Okay, I wanted to give us an explanation. Moment, folks. About Hannah's manifesto. My, ain't that Hannah Choi, hacker extraordinaire. Matthew, I bet you found my little present. Cut the jokes, Fredo. You suddenly decided to dig up my old manifesto and left it at the church. That's no coincidence. What are you scheming? Come on, Hannah, don't look so upset. I just wanted to send you a reminder of your own beliefs. You were better with us. At least you had real convictions then. I found you. I taught you how to fight the pigs, and now you're one of them. Instead of hunting the corrupt government, you work for them. How does it feel to betray yourself? It's true you found me, and then you nearly led me to jail for some abstract dogma. Thanks, but I'm better off with Matthew. At least they make things right without creating fights. Come on, Sheriff Matthew, let's get out of here. I need a break from this. How about lunch? I'm really sorry that inner chaos is causing so much trouble, Matthew. I can't believe I used to be one of them. I did a lot of stupid things in this gang, but it's true. I believed in our fight. I've grown up as an illegal immigrant. I know how inhuman the system can be. When I met Fredo, I was sick of the system taking advantage of the people as the government lies, and I wanted to change things. You're right, I should know better now. I just need some time alone to think. I'll be back in my lab if you need me. She seems shaken. I don't like that. Intimidation, manipulation. Fredo acts like a crazy gangster. Really. He'd get along great with Nikolai if he forgot his anarchist shtick. They both think they can do whatever they want, even wage little wars for their own goals, and they think they can get away with it. And even seemingly well-intentioned people happen to have worked for criminals. This district is corrupted to the core, but at least with you we'll set it straight, Matthew. That will do. So, that will do. And I will do another case in Elite Mode, but that will be in Grimsboro. What case will that be? That's for you to find out. So for now, this is Matthew. Thanks for watching, and see you then.